What's up, guys? Jason with Tattooed Car Culture. How dope is this location? I mean, we are obviously in the LA River, so parts of this was filmed with Grease. Parts of this was filmed with Terminator 2. Just a really iconic spot. And what's even better than that, 1,000 all-wheel horsepower Jeep Grand Cherokee TRACKHAWK. Yes, that's right. 1,000 all-wheel horsepower.
1007.
Oh, 1007. I stand corrected. So we are here with the owner, Alfonso. What's up, man?
Yes. What's going on, man? Hey guys, how are you? 1007 horsepower, 916 foot-pounds of torque to the wheels, not at the crank, to the wheels.
I don't know who measures crank horsepower anyways, but whatever.
Well,
that's a whole other.
All the guys with less than 1,000
Yeah,
do.
there you go. Let's just talk about the exterior, man. I mean, it's definitely got an aggressive stance. I'm really hoping that this comes out in video, I should say, because guys, you really, if you live in SoCal, you really have to be able to check this thing out in person. This thing just looks so aggressive, and it's like ready to party, and it is. So
it has a full suspension package on it from a company called BAGGED. So it has all upgraded tie rods, sway bar links. It has an a sway bar on the back, so it stiffens up the back a lot. But in addition to that, of course, I had the best guys in the business, BAGGED, Ray at Air Ride Equipment. Those guys are the best. So it's on bags, as you can tell. Up front here, one of the things that I hated most about the Jeeps is this cheap plastic honeycomb grill that they put on the car. So the first thing I did was I sent the whole grill out to a company called Race Mesh Grills, and they did this black chrome grill for me on the top, on the bottom. And for me, I just really like the look of it. And then of course, you know, before this car I had a GT350 and I loved the tow hook, so I welded a bracket to the frame. This is a ZL1 Corvette tow hook, and it's functional. The car has actually been towed with this before. It's not just for looks. And then I went with the splitter rods and this splitter setup because I always like the Viper ACR. So this car is kind of my take on it. If Jeep were to make a TRACKHAWK ACR, I have seen nobody that has these stripes on a TRACKHAWK or a Jeep.
And I think this is one of my favorite pieces of the detail that has gone into your ride, is the fact that you kept the mesh grill all the same, because some guys will change out, you know, just the main grill, but then you'll have two different looks. I see this with Chargers all the time. They'll upgrade to like a 2019 grill, but then they'll have the other mesh underneath. You've just really completed the look, and it's something that looks like it came from the factory. You know,
that was the whole idea. The whole idea is to try to build something that looks like maybe Jeep could have produced it as like a prototype, and my OCD would not allow me to have only done like one or the other. In fact, when we get around the back, I'll show you where I actually incorporated some of this into the back. These are Electroni wheels. Huge shout out to Electroni. They made these wheels for me. These are 22 by 11 three-piece made right here in the good old US of A in California. Love these wheels, they're phenomenal.
I just now noticed your tire side, so you're actually running a 305 up front.
I am running a 305 up front, correct.
That's awesome.
Yep. And it does not rub.
And then what about the rear? Are you running the same 305?
It's the same all the way around. 305, 35 R22s. And then the other thing that I did, which I felt that Jeep really should have done to make this car stand out a little bit more, was I changed the fuel door. The regular Jeeps, all the Jeeps that have that old kind of like rectangular, kind of just reminds me of a grandpa Jeep. And I felt like with a car that comes from the factory with 700 horsepower, there should be a few more styling cues other than just the bigger yellow Brembo brakes and the different diffuser in the back.
So what fuel door did you use?
So this is off of a Challenger actually. So I contacted a company called Cleveland Power and Performance. I actually had them cut out of a wrecked Charger, a big section out of the quarter panel out of the back. And then what I did is I bought the fuel door and I bought the filler neck, and we grafted it in and welded it and modified the filler neck. So now I have this, and you know, the car is also all E85 flex tune. So for me, it just really completes the look. It's just a subtle little cue that I really feel makes a huge statement in the way the car looks.
Well, not only is it a subtle cue, but it looks factory. Again, like that's crazy.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really good. I'm very happy about that. First one in the world to ever do that. In the world.
Nice.
In the world. So here around the back, these are painted taillights from the Mop Guy Garage. I love the taillights, but they're just a little bit too red. These have about 14 coats of black paint and then another 10 coats of clear. And they're also LED, they're eagle eye taillights, which look amazing. They came out really nice.
Guys, I don't know how well this is gonna come out, but again, remember, he said these are painted. On his Instagram, he has a lot of the progress photos and videos of the different mods that he's done, but just again, it's one of those things where like at first glance you'd think, oh, it's got a, you know, typical like Lux tint or whatever, right?
Yeah, so with the tint, you know, when you run your finger, I mean, you can see I'm running my finger here. This is like a lens. So there's no, you can't catch your finger on anything. These are painted. This is all painted, and then the whole thing is clear coated and sanded. So it actually looks like a lens. It doesn't look like it's been painted at all.
That's so next level.
The other thing I did is I didn't like any of the tailpipes that were made for the car, so I found these matte carbon fiber stainless steel tailpipes. This has a full AFE exhaust on it, long tube headers with 3-inch catback. We had to modify that to get these to fit, but again, it's just a subtle cue of the difference of the black, the gloss black with the matte black, and then the stainless steel. It just really set it off.
Now I see the mesh detail that you're talking about.
That's actually the prototype. The finished one isn't in yet, but since there's a wide body coming kit for it with the new diffuser, we're actually not going to use that.
Going wide body, huh?
Going wide body.
Oh man,
Yeah,
so
2 inches wider on both sides.
you guys know what that means. That means there's going to be a part 2 of this video. Something else that I really love about the rear of your vehicle is what would you call this? A rear spoiler?
It's an upper. So this is the upper wing and this is the mid wing. You know, so they come with obviously this one factory that's got the built-in LED, but this is by a company called Sorona, and so is this one, the top and the bottom.
And I like how you carry the stripe down.
Yeah, carried the stripe down. Yep, all the way down. The stripe has been a work in progress.
So another small little attention to detail that I noticed is you have an aftermarket TRACKHAWK badge.
Yeah, that was a TRACKHAWK badge that was actually one piece. The T, the slash, and the H were all connected together, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I took a little Dremel and just cut it apart and then painted it so that it was just 3 separate pieces, just to kind of make it look a little bit more custom and just, you know, the way that I like it.
Yeah, it's super clean. All right, brother, so what do you want to show us about the interior?
Yeah, so the interior is kind of cool too. You know, I love the TRACKHAWK interiors and I love the red, but I don't like the all red. They basically only offer 2 options in 2018, all black or all red. So I wanted a combination. I really didn't like it. So what I did was I bought an entire red interior out of a wrecked TRACKHAWK, and I made my own door panels. So I took my door panels off, separated the actual inserts. This is the insert from the red interior, and then I glued it and screwed it in from the back and, you know, adhered it the correct way. And then I took the seats and I took just the center console. And then I took my paddles off, you know, because I didn't really like the paddles were silver. And I kind of made a one-off, you know, red and black TRACKHAWK interior. So this is the only one. They did offer something similar in the SRTs in prior years, but the TRACKHAWK never came with this interior. So I really love just the combination of the red and the black together.
Yeah, I love the fact that you did a 2-tone, because again, going with a theme, it looks factory option, you know?
Well, it is factory, it's just my factory.
There you go. Guys, brief little apology if you hear a bunch of audio. It's because we are right below train tracks and we're in the LA wash. So, you know, when in LA, as the saying goes. So, Alfonso, you mentioned you had a custom wheel coming?
Yeah, so the interior is almost done. There's not much left to do. Any of this silver stuff is going to be all gloss black. So the silver here, the silver around the vent, the silver around the console, the silver on the wheel, and I have a new black leather steering wheel coming with a little bit of Alcantara and a little red stripe on the top. And then the interior is done. I'm done with it. It looks good.
Once YouTube catches up and now allows you to like scratch and sniff, man, you guys need to smell this interior. It still smells brand freaking new, you know?
Now we should take a look at those 1007, not 1000.
Come on, man, I was trying to build up the suspense with the audience.
So there we go.
Dang.
Yeah. So the car is tuned by Electroni Motorsports. It has an E85 Flex tune, so I can really put anything in there. Electroni, in my opinion, they are the best, and they have done the most TRACKHAWKs out of everybody. It has a stage 2 head package on it, stage 2 race cam, fast moto, 105 millimeter snout, along with a Granatelli matched 105 millimeter throttle body. It also has a billet bearing plate, which is right behind the snout. It's been ported, it has higher flow. It's putting out about 21 PSI.
Jeez.
Yeah, 21 PSI. No, that's right at the limit of where you can go with this. Anything above that, and I'd probably blow it up. I had TBA Machine made all of these billet pulleys. I don't know if you know what they look like, but from the factory, they're these stock kind of plastic, you know, they're just kind of boring looking. And then actually Grip Tech actually made this pulley custom for me. They normally come in black, but I wanted it in polished silver just to kind of give the look. And then I've got these, you know, hydro dipped fuel rail covers, billet technology supplied all of these little, you know, really nice satin polished pieces. This is also a Granatelli high flow thermostat housing. The crank is pinned. I mean, there's just so much. I've got ID 1300 injectors on this thing. It's just, it hauls ass. I really don't know how to explain it to people. It is by far the fastest vehicle. It do 0 to 60 in, you know, 2.3 seconds.
Oh,
yeah, like legitimately 0 to 60 in 2.3. I haven't taken it to the track yet, but I know that it's going to be a 9-second car. Guys that have less done to their TRACKHAWKs are in the 9s. It's just, it's by far the most fun vehicle, all-around vehicle I've ever owned in my entire life. It's just a ball.
With the color match blower with the rest of the parts, I mean, was that a big pain in the ass? I mean, did you have to like send it out? I mean, like what was that process
actually,
like?
I painted the blower myself in my house with my wife.
What?
Yeah, so it came back, we were gonna leave it silver, and I didn't like the way it looked. Fast Moto, they did this for me. I ordered the color in red. My PCV valve breather, I actually painted that. I found a red that matched it. I did it myself in my house with a little spray paint can, just like I did with the paddles. It wasn't too bad. I mean, their turnaround was pretty fast. I mean, you know, all this stuff takes a little bit of time. The biggest thing is, you know, the whole motor had to come out into the car to get to the heads and to the cam. But, you know, it was absolutely worth it. I mean, you know, everybody always wants more and more and more, but I'm good with 1,007 horsepower, and that's about what the style drivetrain can take. I have the, you know, G-force axles and the drive shaft done, but after that, like, you're going to start blowing up the transmission. And I mean, I live in LA.
Yep. Now you have so many red accents all over the place, and then you have really bright calipers. Are you going to leave it like that, or what?
I am going to leave it like that. You know, it was one of the things that was bothering me, you know, the yellow, but it's grown on me, you know, like I get it. You know, people are like, you should paint your calipers red, and I understand. The thing for me is that the SRTs come with red calipers. Not that I have anything against SRTs. I had one before this that was supercharged, but I just feel like I just like the yellow. I get these DMs all the time. People are telling me, you know, you need to take the yellow off your headlights.
What?
It's amazing the amount of DMs I get, people telling me what
to do with your car.
No, what I shouldn't have done and what I should do.
Gotcha.
So I want to thank all of you from the very bottom of my heart.
All right, brother, and you're also running an Afe Intake. And
you know, I'm usually not a big fan of carbon fiber, I have to be honest with you, but this Afe Intake is just so perfect. I mean, if you look at the weave, I mean, it's flawless. That's one of my problems with a lot of carbon fiber products, is it's wavy or it's pulled. This thing is just perfect. Plus I've got the blue air filter, and then over here it has this little ram air. So I have AFE power, got the cold air, and then I also have their long tube headers, the high full cats, and I also have their 3-inch catback exhaust. But I did install granitelli cutouts just for the time when you want the exhaust flowing just a little bit more.
All right, guys, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you sticking around. I will leave Alfonso's Instagram down in the description. Please go give his build a follow. The amount of detail work that has gone into this ride, I've tried to highlight it the best I could, but man, on his Instagram, he goes way more in depth with the build process and all the little custom mods that, you know, just subtly make up a much bigger picture. So, Alfonso, I know it's hot today and we're in the middle of nowhere, but you know, I appreciate you coming out and showing the ride.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, and as always, remember, be unique, stay humble, and God bless. Peace.